Welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Essie Gaston Edwards in for Junior Garcia. Here are some of the stories we have for you tonight. Governor John DeYoung replies to Senate President, man shot recently on St. Thomas, and horse racing in your sports 411. These stories and more up next on News Channel 8.
I Trade Earth brings you News Channel 8, a Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands based approach to economic development and the global marketplace, one small business at a time. Call 866 396 8278 for more information or look at us on as seen on channel8.com for I Trade Earth.
In our top story, Governor John DeYoung replies to Senate President on the Workmen's Compensation Fund and the Unemployment Trust Fund.
I recognize that the Senate is going to have a Committee on Finance meeting, and then they're also going to session one last time before the new legislature comes in. And what I just wanted to remind the Senate President about is that we have two issues that are critical to our medical providers in the community, but also to beneficiaries that have unemployment claims, is the fact that we have the Workmen's Compensation Fund and the Unemployment Trust Fund, which are two very critical areas that helped us in many ways, particularly the Unemployment Trust Fund, to get past the worst part of the Great Recession and the fact that we have a loan balance out there of close to $80 million. And in addition to that, we have the Workmen's Compensation Fund that has a negative balance that we have to address. We have submitted legislation with respect to both. With the fiscal year 14 budget, I submitted some proposed legislation to address the Workers' Compensation Fund, and I've also submitted legislation in July to address the Unemployment Trust Fund. Being able to address both of those would, one, allow us to bring some solvency back to the Workers' Compensation Fund, and also put us in a posture to begin to repay the Unemployment Trust Fund loan. And right now, a number of providers, beneficiaries are looking for payments with respect to the Workers' Compensation Fund that we just can't meet because we've not been able to have that change. And we're talking fiscal year 14, which means I submitted a letter for workers' compensation back in June of 2013, and the Unemployment Trust Fund legislation I submitted in July of 2014. And those two, again, have not moved, and those are areas that impact greatly, both with respect to the financial obligations to the government, but just quite frankly, with respect to individuals and them meeting their basic needs, whether it's for the additional being able to get the biweekly payments or to make for medical costs. But we owe monies to the Schneider Regional Center, the Governor F. Juan Louis Hospital, and a host of private providers. And it's just an area that we need to address. And since they have the upcoming sessions, both the committee and the Senate, the full body, it's just something we should not. I wanted to remind him so we didn't ignore it any longer.
In other news, noted by Senator Kenneth Gittens, Governor John DeYoung keeps pushing for the 30th legislature to ratify the Hovensa deal without proper documents. ABRVI has also retained Celestino White's firm to lobby senators.
In response to the governor's push to have the 30th legislature during its final hours vote on this Hovensa agreement, while I do support the growth and development of our economy, especially in the St. Croix district, I will not consider anything that I do not have full disclosure of. Why are we being rushed to vote on this measure during the governor's sunset in office? Voting on this measure now leaves us with no real time to consider the effects of the territory for the next 40 plus years. This will in fact affect us for the next 20 to 40 plus years. I would suggest that the time the governor and his associates are spending and trying to bully the legislature into voting on this measure now, the time would be better spent putting together a contingency plan for addressing the fuel storage threats that he so seemingly is concerned about. I want to assure the people of the Virgin Islands that this senator will always work to ensure that their best interest is always protected and not for just a few. Remember, government was created to protect its people, not big corporations.
Meanwhile, police on St. Thomas are investigating a case in which the victim said the suspect walked up to him and shot him in his arm. Melody Rames has more details.
Police on St. Thomas are investigating a case in which the victim said the suspect walked up to him and shot him. The incident occurred on November 28th at about 5:30 p.m. at the Double Play Bar and Restaurant on St. Thomas. The 51-year-old victim was shot in his upper left shoulder and treated at the Schneider Regional Medical Center. The suspect, Henry Tuart Polanco, age 57, was arrested the same day and charged with assault third degree. According to the initial police report, witnesses told police that the victim was in the Double Play Bar when another male walked in and shot him. The suspect then left in a green Mazda. The victim was taken to the hospital in a private vehicle. The victim also told police that the suspect assaulted him with a golf club several days prior to the shooting incident. Police located the suspect, who turned himself in and was arrested at about 8:45 p.m. the same day of the shooting. His bail was set at $45,000, and he was remanded to the Bureau of Corrections pending further court action.
Now it's time for your Crime Stoppers report. Crime Stoppers thanks you for making a difference in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The following article is intended to educate you about Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers USVI is a community program in which members of the community, the media, law enforcement agencies, and businesses work together to solve crimes. Citizens are encouraged via cash rewards and a promise of anonymity to provide information leading to the arrest and indictment of criminals. Crime Stoppers USVI is made up of local volunteers willing to take action against crime. They want our community to be safe and are willing to work to make it that way. A board of directors giving of their time and talents administer the program. Local citizens formed Crime Stoppers USVI about 6 years ago as a non-profit corporation. Its directors establish policy, determine amount and method of reward payments, work closely with law enforcement and the media, and oversee the program. The directors are also responsible for fundraising, community education, and volunteer service. The program is supported by the public through tax-deductible donations from businesses, corporations, individuals, and service organizations. Information related to unsolved crimes and wanted persons are distributed to the community via the media. Citizens are encouraged to call Crime Stoppers and anonymously give any information related to unsolved crime. Crime Stoppers forwards the information to the appropriate law enforcement agency to assist in the investigation or the location of a wanted fugitive. If your information is used by law enforcement and leads to a resolution, you will be eligible to receive a cash reward. Our community benefits when it comes together to assist law enforcement. A criminal who is taken off the streets is not a threat to you, your children, your neighborhood, or your business. In a community where citizens work together to solve crimes, the threat of swift, sure punishment serves as a strong deterrent to would-be criminals. Continue to help make our community a safer place. Submit information on crime at www.crimestoppersusvi.org or by calling 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. Or by texting USVI plus your message to crimes. That's 274-637. If you know something, say something. And this was your weekly Crime Stoppers report. Stay with us. We have more news right after this break.
This is News Channel 8. This is News Channel 8.
Welcome back to News Channel 8. Except for school security, the entire John H. Woodson Junior High School family took to the auditorium as teams of students competed to raise the bar and were honored for academic excellence during the Warriors School Spirit First Quarter Pep Rally, Wednesday, November 26th.
Teacher, can you see? Teacher, can you see? Richard can you see?
That what Wilson did to me.
That's what Wilson did to me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
whoa,
whoa. Whoa, whoa,
whoa,
whoa, whoa. Whoa,
Today we are celebrating student success here at John Wilson School. So today is our Spirit Day, and this day we're going to recognize students for doing positive things for the first marking period. So at this time we are recognizing students who have made the honor roll, has different awards for citizenship, and also displaying good behavior. In addition to that, we also have a competition to see which team is the best. We have 6 teams, and they are competing for a trophy who have been the most positive and the most influential team with us here on campus.
Don't touch that remote. We have more news straight ahead.
This newscast has been sponsored by Mario's Virgin Crystal. Let us save you the hassle of lugging those jugs around. Purified bottled water conveniently delivered to your home or office. Also available in your favorite grocery store. Call 773-2810.
This is News Channel 8. This is News Channel 8.
And now finally, here is horse racing action for your Sports 411.
We're good to go. Waiting on the break. Get bus and they're running. Even start for them all. Still unbroken, running well on the front end. Giant Valley gets to the front. Running third, Plotter. Fourth, Dixie Indy, and your trailer, St. Moose. So they passed the wire for the first time when it meant nothing, and that was Giant Valley leading the way. Ran the first quarter in 22-2. Still unbroken, running in second. Running in alongside the rail is St. Moose, being hustled towards the front. Platter is running in fourth, and Dixie Indy is your trailer. St. Moose now starting to lengthen those strides. Moving on the outside is still unbroken. Giant Valley is now running in second position. St. Moose approximately 2 off of your leaders. Plotter and the trailer is Dixie Indy. Ran the first half in 56-2. Giant Valley is running a big one on the front end. Still unbroken is running second. St. Moose now under the whip is running in 4 lengths off of your leader. Plotter and then Dixie Indy. As they exit the backstretch, Giant Valley ran the first 6 in 1:10-2. Here comes St. Moose. St. Moose now angled to the outside at the top of the turn. Giant Valley is your leader, and down the stretch they come. St. Moose is now moving on the outside with 1 furlong to go. Giant Valley under the whip. St. Moose now coming on the outside. It's going to be a great stretch run with a 16 to go. St. Moose and Jose Hernandez. Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat, Rocky. Is your winner. St. Moose by 1.5. Second, Giant Valley. Third, Dixie Indy. Fourth, still unbroken, and Plotter.
The 11th race of the day is over and done with, and the winner of the race is St. Moose. Mr. Bates, there was a lot of talk in the yard. We know St. Moose came here and he had a little issue Tell us what was the problem with him when he came to St. Croix.
Well, before he came to St. Croix, the night before, he was in Puerto Rico, and the guy from the farm, which is Greg, called me and said that he having a little problem trying to cuckoo. He couldn't cuckoo. He was a little constipated, and he had problems trying to force it out. And they work on him and everything, and they was deciding if to let him travel or anything. But when the morning come, they said, okay, he ready to go. He did pass some stool and everything. And when he came to St. Croix, he had a little problem, and we gave some mineral oil and everything and pump it in his stomach. The vet Della came down and pumped a whole gallon of mineral oil to soften up his stool. And the next thing was to get him to drink water, and we put a little salt in his food and things like that, and he started drinking a whole bucket of water. And we see from then his stool was getting very soft and going good. You know, we gave him a lot of green grass. You know, green grass got a lot of water in it.
Right.
And them kind of thing. And then we put him on the track, and the jockey said he was really pulling and ready to go. So we were still up in the air, you know, a couple days out from the race, but he was eating all his food. That was the main thing. He was very happy. His blood count was good. And we decided to run him today, and we came out successful. I know in the next couple of, like December coming, we're going to get more time with it. He need a little body weight on him, you know, and we're going to try to put a little weight on him and see how we come out for Christmas.
Your weather report is up next.
Your weather, coming up next. Your weather.
And now it's time for your 5-day weather report.
Tonight, isolated showers after 8 p.m. Partly cloudy with a low around 82. East-northeast wind 14 to 17 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 20%. Wednesday, isolated showers. Sunny with a high near 89. Heat index values as high as 103. East wind 17 to 20 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 20%. Wednesday night, isolated showers. Partly cloudy with a low around 82. East wind around 18 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 20%. On Thursday, isolated showers. Sunny with a high near 89. East-northeast wind around 17 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 20%. And on Thursday night, isolated showers, mostly clear with a low around 82. East-northeast wind 14 to 17 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 20%. And on Friday, isolated showers, sunny with a high near 89. Northeast wind around 14 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 20%. This is Cheryl Francis with your Channel 8 News Weather.
Well, that concludes the news broadcast we have for you this evening. From all of us here at News Channel 8, I'm Essie Gaston Edwards. World News is up next. Thank you for joining us, and good night.
I Trade Earth brings you News Channel 8, a Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands-based approach to economic development and the global marketplace, one small business at a time. Call 866-396-8278 for more information, or look at us on as seen on channel8.com for I Trade Earth.